Hey, restaurant owners. If you want to achieve restaurant prosperity, which is freedom for your restaurant and the financial freedom you deserve, then you need good managers. And there lies the challenge. How do you find good managers? I'm going to share with you in just a moment that exact answer, and my answer might surprise you. I'm Dave Scott Peters, restaurant expert, coach, and creator of the Restaurant Prosperity Formula. I've been coaching restaurant owners since 2003, and I'm really glad you're here to learn. Today, I want to walk you through finding good managers. But before I do that, if you like tips and tricks like this, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and oh yeah, that bell so you're notified when my next video tip comes out. And for more tips and tricks for running a profitable restaurant or to hear restaurant owner success stories, make sure you tune into my podcast, Restaurant Prosperity Formula, found on all the popular podcasting services. Let me start off by saying, I don't think you find good managers. I believe you create them. That means all the money you're spending on these job posting sites to bring in managers, and you're wondering why these managers come and go and fail. It has a lot to do with you as a leader. Do you have systems for everything you have in your business? Do you have a process, a way? Do you have a training system to make sure it's done? Do you have accountability systems to make sure they're doing it and being able to coach them? Or are you bringing in a chain manager hoping they're going to do what they did at a chain, which doesn't often work because at a chain, they have somebody over their head with an iron fist saying, you will do this. They don't understand why they're doing it. Doesn't mean they're bad people. It's just they work in an environment that says, you'll do this, just do this, just do this. And you're not built that way. So using this from the start, again, as a starting point that we don't find good managers, we create good managers. Let's get right into it. How do we find good managers? Again, we create them, but here's the process. And this is one of my favorite lessons I give from stage at my workshops and seminars that I put in my restaurant transformation intensive program. In fact, it's right at the beginning because I not only say this is how you find good managers, supervisors, but implementer, somebody who helps you get shit done. Somebody is on your team right now, even you think there's nobody on my team that could possibly become a manager. And this is important. And I'll tell you why in just a second. So the process starts with posting in Server Alley, your employee bulletin board, whatever kind of restaurant you have. It says special projects. Anybody who's interested in helping me with special projects, come see me. Now you got to pay them at least minimum wage for the projects. You've got a whole list of things to do, especially if you've been following me from recipe cost cards to checklists, you name it, lots and lots of work to do. So there's never like, oh, I don't have anything to give somebody. There's plenty to do. So you post it. Now this is important. Let anyone apply. That means don't go to your favorite employee and say, hey, I want you to put your name in the hat, because you're really kind of forcing the process. How many times you've taken your best employee, right? Your best employee and made him your worst. You know how you did it? You talked them into becoming a manager. They should have never been a manager, but you like their attitude. They're like you, whatever, something says, man, you really should become a manager. And when doing so, you take somebody who should have never didn't have the desire, doesn't have the skill sets, should have never become a manager in that position. And you take your best employee, make them your worst, and they get fired or quit in 6 months to a year. We want to avoid that. It also means that one employee said, there's no way in hell that person would ever be a manager on my team. You have to let them come aboard and help you with special projects. See, some people are the class clowns in middle school. Remember the class clown in middle school? Acted up all the time, drew the teacher's attention, everybody's attention. They didn't often have the best grades, but they were often the smartest kid in the class. They were just bored, so they were acting out. You've got some employees that have been acting out because they're bored. So let everybody and anyone apply, meaning help you with these special projects. Now you got to train them. You got to train them what the job is, how to do it, how well it should be done, more importantly by when. You have to have the patience pill of your lifetime to teach them each task you want them to do. You've got to coach them, coddle them, train them. Now, you're going to find out that some of these people are going to do a really good job and some people are going to do a bad job. So let's talk about the people who aren't going to do a good job at all. They're fumbling around, they do half-assed work, they miss deadlines. All you do is say, hey man, thanks for your help. I don't need your help right now, but in the future, I'll ask you again. I really appreciate it. Now, what's the beautiful part is I didn't demote somebody. I didn't make them feel bad about themselves. I just said, I don't need you right now. Now, the person does a good job and shows an aptitude. I may approach them and say, hey, have you ever thought of becoming an MIT? For me, an MIT is a manager in training. hourly supervisor, key employee. Don't give a rat's ass what you title this person. This is somebody who's now on a trajectory to potentially become a manager for you. We're going to start them off as a supervisor at some level. Now, you're going to go to one person and go, hey man, you've done a really great job with these special projects. I'd love to see if you're interested in becoming an MIT. And they're going to go, no, 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 no. No way in hell do I want to become a manager at any level. What's your worst case scenario? You got some shit done and did a good job. You're going to go to the next person. Hey, have you thought about becoming an MIT? And you might get a yes. And you say, oh, by the way, you're only going to work 1-2 days a week as a plainclothes manager on a slow shift, Monday, Tuesday night. You'll still have your tipped shifts. And all of a sudden you see them light up. I get to keep my Friday, Saturday nights? Yes. And so now you put yourself in a position to allow this person to learn how to open and close the restaurant, take on a little bit more. Now, of those people who become MITs, now imagine you're covering your shifts, plainclothes managers, hourly employees though. They're not working a shift as a server and a supervisor at the same time. They are a supervisor. And this is important when you follow my systems. Well, of those who become MITs, somebody's not going to do a good job. They just weren't meant to manage people. Guess what? I get to go to them. Hey, man, I don't need you on the schedule as a manager right now. Really appreciate it. If somebody goes on vacation or somebody gets sick, would you have any problem jumping in? Oh, no, no problem. Did I demote them and make them feel bad about themselves and say they got fired? No. I get to keep that good employee. And as a backup, I've got somebody going to open and close, which is fantastic. Now you're going to go to somebody else who showed great promise, did a great job. And you're going to say, hey, man, have you thought about becoming a manager? And you're going to get one of those people and go, no way in hell. I don't want to become a manager. Will you stay in this role? Yeah, I'll stay in this role. Oh, do you lose? You've got an open and closer that does a great job on certain days of the week, allowing you to work on your business, not in it, to allow you to continue to have, if somebody goes on vacation or so on, a good person to fill shifts. Now you got to go to another person. You've done a great job as an MIT. Have you thought about becoming a manager? Until we find someone who says yes. I'm going to tell you right now, my process of finding a good manager is not a quick fix. Listen to each one of the steps. It takes time to develop these people, to train them, your system, your process, your way, on what the job is, how to do it, how well it should be done, more importantly, by when, ensuring they can deliver that back to you before you let them go on their own. It may take you a good 6 months to a year to find and put the right people in place that are on your team right now. But I'm going to tell you right now, if you follow my process, your restaurant will finally be on a path to having the freedom, you having freedom from your restaurant and the financial freedom you deserve, because you have people in place running your restaurant the way you want it when you're there, but especially when you're not. If you're tired of not being able to leave your restaurant because no one else knows how to run it, I want to make sure you know it doesn't have to be that way. You can leave your restaurant. It is possible to build a team of people who know how you want the restaurant to run with trained and responsible people in place. You can give yourself time away. What would you do if you had time away from your restaurant? Would you sleep better? Would your relationships improve? Would you feel more relaxed? These are all things you deserve to experience as a business owner. It's why we own our own businesses. If you would like to learn how to own a restaurant that doesn't depend on you to be successful, click the link in the description to watch a free video to learn exactly what you have to do. Also, be sure to subscribe to get my weekly tips and watch these 2 videos to get more information and guidance for running a successful restaurant.